With those few remarks, I want to just wish you well and pray to God that you will enjoy the profession. May I now and I have the humble duty and privilege to ask the Honorable, the Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya to come and address us. Honorable Chief Justice, please.
Allow me also to recognize the President of the Law Society of Kenya, Mr. Nelson Abi, Madam Rusi Kambuni, Senior Counsel, and I do this with a lot of humility because out of 19,000 lawyers, we have only 8 women who are Senior Counsel, and you are one of them. We celebrate you. I also recognize the Vice President of the Law Society, Madam Caroline Kamende, the representative of the Attorney General, Mr. George Nyakundi, and the representative of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Madam Jacinta Nyamosi, all our distinguished guests this morning, and the newly admitted advocates. Good afternoon. Allow me to associate myself with those very kind and encouraging remarks that have been made by these eminent lawyers, advocates who have congratulated you on your signing of the role of advocates as advocates of the High Court of Kenya. On behalf of myself and the entire judiciary, we congratulate you most warmly and welcome you to the legal profession. Today, no doubt, marks an important moment in your careers. Admission to the role of advocates is a turning point for anyone who aspires to be a member of the legal profession. It marks a transition from a period focused on studies in preparation for admission to the bar, to being able to practice what you have been studying. Of course, this does not mean that the period for studies come to an end, and I heard your president advise you that there is continuous professional development courses that are offered for free within the Law Society. And you must take advantage of that and continue to learn, because the law is ever evolving and the ideal lawyer must keep abreast with the law and other developments in the society. And that is why everyone is now referring to you as a learned friend, because learning does not come to an end, it's continuous. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate you and your families and everybody who has put an effort to see you accomplish this feat today. And in my reflections, I have titled my speech An Ideal Lawyer, who is driven by and conducts themselves in conformity with the values of professional, personal, and social ethics. Today also takes me down the memory lane to 1987, exactly November, 34 years ago, when I sat where you are and took the solemn oath of office. Our senior, the chair of the Senior Council Bar, Dr. Friend Ojiambo, spoke on behalf of the Law Society, encouraging us to be steadfast, to have faith, and to be hardworking. And I wondered how I can even summon confidence to stand before people and address them. This is a country full of opportunities and possibilities. Because despite my doubts 34 years ago, I'm the one standing here to admit you. So there is possibility in this country for everybody. So in terms of professional ethics for an ideal lawyer, we invite you to breathe life and spirit to our Constitution. And this includes you living by higher standards of lawyering. It means as lawyers you must be part of the process of developing the constitutionally declared indigenous social justice jurisprudence. That is what we aim for in the judiciary. And for us to get this indigenous social jurisprudence, you must avail to judges and judicial officers arguments and relevant legal materials on the latest learning in the law that will help us develop this indigenous jurisprudence. You must be part of the solution to the problems that we face of case backlog and delayed delivery of justice by ensuring that we abandon the old-age practice of unnecessary adjournments that delay the hearing of cases. Let no one take advantage of your youth and misuse you by sending you to court to apply for an adjournment. You are fully trained to take the brief and present it and argue it fully to the judge. Because when you come to seek for an adjournment, you will find an hostile bench. In addition to not seeking adjournment, we urge you to shift and focus on the merit of the cases rather than making unnecessary interlocutory and technical applications that merely help to delay in the resolution of the cases before us. And lastly, you should embrace what we call now the multi-door approach to delivery of justice. And for this, I wish to mention the court-annexed mediation. Research has been done in this country and found that about 90% of the disputes are not resolved through the formal justice system, but through the informal system. Therefore, let nobody cheat you. Although this week we are admitting 510 new advocates, that there is no place for you, that the profession is saturated. I dare tell you that you are just a drop in a bucket. Your services are needed. They are needed in many, many ways. As long as you distinguish yourself, as long as you work hard, and whatever little brief that God puts in your hand, you do your best. You will find yourself useful, giving advice and practicing as a mediator through our court-annexed mediation or other alternative justice systems and dispute resolution mechanisms that we employ. You will also find yourself useful practicing in the small claims courts where judgment is released within 60 days. Newly admitted advocates, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of personal ethics, there are two concerns that should inform the conduct of an ideal lawyer. And my colleagues here, the president, senior counsel, and everybody have spoken to you and advised you of the value and principle of being civil in the interaction with the members of the bench and other colleagues, and also the members of public that you come into contact with, including your clients. The concern here is that while robust engagement expressing a different opinion and point of view is encouraged and should be embraced, we should disagree without being disagreeable. The second concern is what Mr. Nyakundi has spoken about. That is ethics in your financial dealings. And he has given you worrisome statistics of cases in the past that involve unethical advocates who deprive clients the proceeds from the conveyance or litigation briefs that they handle on behalf of the client. And we have some examples of clients who have been deprived of their rewards and they are victims of road accidents, or they are denied their compensation awarded by courts and those who deprive widows, orphans, their inheritance from the estates of their deceased family members. Such unethical conduct goes against the ethic of Ubuntu that underlies the principles ordained in our Constitution. I hope yours will be the generation of lawyers that puts a stop to such practices, and no one from this cohort of advocates will be struck off the roll of advocates that you have joined today due to such acts of professional conduct. As you have been advised, always ask yourself what you are engaging with. Is it adding value to your profession, to your life? Is it sustainable in the next 5 years, 10 years, or 30 years, or even 60 years? Because we were celebrating distinguished service of lawyers who served for 60 years even without a complaint before the advocate's complaints. But this does not speak only to the lawyers in private practice. We have lawyers who join the judiciary either as judges or judicial officers, and lawyers in other branches of government that include state council, prosecution council, legal officers in various state corporations and state agencies, who must also adhere to personal ethics in their conduct. It is notable that for those lawyers in public sector, we have an additional requirement to comply with the provisions of Article 10 of the Constitution and Chapter 6 on leadership and integrity, which demands that our actions must be informed by the foundational constitutional values and principles on integrity, accountability, transparency, and good governance. The essence of the constitutional value system is that we in public service do not serve ourselves. We exercise that power and authority that is derived from the people to serve the people. And whatever we do, it must always be in the best interests of the people and must be according to the law and the Constitution. In respect to the judiciary, I want to use this occasion to assure Kenyans that we will not tolerate or condone corruption and abuse of office by any individual working within this institution of the judiciary, irrespective of their rank or office. I want to assure that we will deal firmly and swiftly, but also fairly, with any allegations or cases that implicate anyone within the judiciary with corrupt activities. Our quests for judicial hygiene, just like in health, where we advocate for prevention is better than cure. We want to enhance public confidence and trust in the judiciary and assure the public that we pursue a policy within the context of zero tolerance to corruption in the judiciary. Thus, those amongst the advocates we have admitted today who aspire to join the bench, and the Chief Registrar warmly welcomed you to the various candidates that we have. You must know that judiciary does not and do not tolerate or condone corruption. Lastly, in terms of social ethics, for an ideal lawyer ought to contribute socially beneficial services to the society. A successful lawyer is expected to play a role in furthering the constitutional goals of social inclusion and access to justice. Following this, I urge you to be ready to give to the society, and I welcome you to sign to the pro bono briefs that we offer here, the role of advocates who serve the indigent, those people who can't afford to hire a lawyer. We have a very robust program, and we expanded it the other day by admitting also persons charged with a capital offense of robbery with violence, whose sentence is death, to be given legal aid. We also invite you to be champions for justice, to end violence within our society, especially gender-based violence. Look out for children who are in contact or in conflict with the law, and they need somebody to hold their hand. Even where you live, in the communities where you live, there is a child struggling, a teenager struggling to find their identity. Please hold their hand, mentor them. There are persons living with disabilities and persons from minority and marginalized community who have violated and they need remedy. You can help them access justice. In effect, the ideal lawyer is not one who is solely focused on professional eminence and financial success. Ethical conduct and contribution to the common good of the nation and our communities is what makes an ideal lawyer. I wish to quote the speech during the September 2012 Democratic National Convention that endorsed President Obama's second run for the presidency, made by the First Lady, Michelle Obama, when she spoke about her home fire is son to become an advocate